Football Facts Presents 11 footballers who never managed to reach expectations. Number 11. Kyriakos Papadopoulos. Possibly the most controversial entry on this list due to the fact that he is just 25. He started his professional career at Olympiacos, and at the age of 18 he was signed by Schalke in 2010. His first season was quite good, but his second was excellent. During the summer, he was the center of attraction for big clubs in Europe, but no deal was reached. On his third year at the club, he faced a very serious injury which kept him out of action for 1 year. He was loaned out to Leverkusen for 1 season, and the next season the deal became permanent. Papadopoulos was still facing injury troubles. Last season he was loaned out to Leipzig, where he failed to make an impact. On the second half of the season he joined Hamburg on loan, where he helped the team avoid relegation. Future will show if the Greek star will be able to stay out of injuries and become again the attraction of big clubs in Europe. Number 10. Philippe Cristanval. The Frenchman started his career with Monaco, where he made a name for himself, winning the French Championship and the Young Player of the Season award. He was transferred in Barcelona in 2001 at the age of 23. The high expectations were never reached, as Cristanval played just 31 games in 2 seasons. He was then transferred to Marseille, where he didn't impress either. After 2 seasons with the club he moved in England and Fulham. Though he had a relatively good start, he was never able to find his good old self. In 2008, after he was released by Fulham, he finished his career at the age of 30 as he couldn't find a team. Number 9. Anthony Letelec. Letelec was transferred in Liverpool from Le Havre as a youngster after amazing tournaments with France under 17. He was loaned back to Le Havre for 2 seasons in order to have play time. When he returned to Liverpool in 2004 he failed to reach the expectations. After 2005 he was loaned out continuously until 2008, where he was signed by Le Mans. He then played for Rozet, Valenciennes and Atromitos in Greece. His performances were not bad, but he never reached the expectations. At the age of 32 he is still active and in search of a new club after the end of the contract with Atromitos. Number 8. Adriano. At early 2000s he was considered as the next big thing for Brazil. In 2001, at the age of 21, he joined Inter Milan from Flamengo. After loan deals and co-ownerships with Fiorentina and Parma, he established himself on the first team in 2004. He was one of the strongest and the most powerful strikers, with amazing technique. His left foot was also venomous, as he could score from any position. By 2006, however, the Brazilian star had issues with his behavior, skipping training sessions and partying out at nightclubs. After poor performances, Adriano was loaned out to Sao Paulo, where he found his form. He returned to Inter for the 2008 to 2009 season, but though he started well, he still had troubles with his behavior. At the end of the season he signed for Flamengo, where he had a good season. He returned to Italy 1 year later to sign for Roma, but he was largely disappointing. His latest seasons in Brazil and USA were even more disappointing, and in 2016, at the age of 34 he retired from football. A very charismatic and talented footballer, that his career ended in disappointment and never reached the expectation to replace Ronaldo for the national team. Number 7. Sebastian Deisler. One of the German talents who were dubbed to replace the old guard in late 1990s. Deisler started his career at Gladbach and soon moved to Hertha Berlin, where he had very good performances. In 2002 he signed for Bayern Munich, making his biggest step on his career. Before joining the Bavarian team, however, he suffered a serious injury. He had already missed much of his last season with Hertha. In Bayern he never managed to reach expectations, as he was injured continuously. 2005 might be the only season that he had more contribution to the team. In 2007 he retired from football at the age of just 27, stating that he was not made for football. A very promising career that ended very ingloriously. Number 6. Freddie Adu. Before even becoming 15 years, he made his professional debut with DC United. He became the youngest ever player to feature and score for MLS Soccer. He had magnificent skills for his age and was even dubbed as the new Pelé. After a spell at Salt Lake, he was signed by Benfica at the age of 18 but failed to impress, eventually loaned out between 2008 and 2011 in 4 clubs. At the age of 28, he already changed 13 teams as he is currently unemployed. For sure he didn't match expectations and never became the world-class footballer that was expected to be. Number 5. Gaizka Mendieta. Having made a name with Valencia, Mendieta was considered as one of the best midfielders at the age of 26. Lazio paid £48 million in order to sign him in 2001, but the Spaniard never reached the expectation. After a season with Lazio, he moved on loan to Barcelona, where he was playing more often but never managed to reach his performances with Valencia. He was later sold to Middlesbrough, where he finished his career in 2008. On the first season in England he did well, but later he faced injury troubles, playing very little during the next seasons. Number 4. Ariel Ortega. Ortega had a great start on his career playing with River Plate. With the team he won 4 championships and the Copa Libertadores, before moving in Europe, spending time with Valencia, Sampdoria, and Parma. His spell in Europe lasted just 3 years and was not as successful as predicted. He moved back in River Plate, where he found his form again and won another championship. He tried his luck again in Europe in 2002 with Fenerbahce. Though he started well, he failed to return after international duty, and the Turkish team filed a complaint to FIFA forcing him to pay his team $11 million. He also received a ban and returned in football in 2004 for Newell's Old Boys, winning another Argentinian championship. He went back to River Plate in 2006, playing until the end of his career, winning 1 more championship. For sure his time in Argentina was successful but never achieved the expectations which had dubbed him as the new Maradona. Number 3. Ibrahim Afellay. He had an amazing start on his career with Eindhoven, playing an important role on the 4 consecutive championships between 2005 and 2008. He made the big step on his career on January of 2011 as he joined Barcelona at the age of 24. He made 28 appearances in all competitions for the remaining season. A notable moment was the assist to Messi on the Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid, which opened the scoreline. At the end of the season, Afellay won both La Liga and the Champions League. During the first stages of the next season he had a very serious injury which kept the Dutchman out for about 7 months. After that he never really found his form. He spent time on loan to Schalke and Olympiacos but never managed to reach his potential despite an amazing season in Greece. He was later released by Barcelona and joined Stoke City, where he still suffers with injuries. Number 2. Gianluigi Lentini. Lentini is a name that is very well known to Italy at the early 1990s. His magnificent performances with Torino earned him a transfer to AC Milan in 1992 at the age of 23. He had a fantastic first season, as the club won the Italian Championship and reached the final of the Champions League, only to lose against Marseille. During pre-season of next year he had car accident, suffering a fractured skull and damaging the eye socket. Towards the end of the season he returned to action, but he never matched his potential. He won another the Championship and the Champions League, but his contribution was very little. In 1996 he left AC Milan for Atalanta and later had a second spell with Torino. Gradually he went down the league ranks as he found himself playing for lower divisions. His love for football kept him on the field until the age of 43, but unfortunately never reached expectations. Number 1. Bojan Krikic. Coming through the youth ranks of Barcelona, he was able to break the records of Messi for the youngest player ever to feature and the youngest ever player to score for Barcelona in La Liga. He broke into the team in 2007, making 31 La Liga appearances and scored 10 goals. He stayed on the club for 3 more seasons, but his shine was gradually fading away. Until 2011, he won 3 La Liga titles and Champions Leagues. He left for Roma at the end of 2011, where he stayed for 2 seasons, including a loan spell with AC Milan. In 2013 he rejoined Barcelona, but he was immediately loaned out to Ajax. At the end of the season he was sold to Stoke City, where he didn't impress either. He was even loaned out to Mainz in January of 2017 for the remaining season. At the age of 26, Bojan has not become the star that he was once meant to be and hardly will be able to reach even half of what he was expected to be. Do you think of any other footballer that didn't reach expectations and should be included here? Comment below. Thanks for watching.